live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello.
I am Jarrett, the football genius Burgess.
And I'm Stephanie Fitzpatrick, aka the Advantage Coach.
This is episode 94 of the Field to the Real podcast. And this is not yet. We're almost at our 2-year anniversary. It's January 11th, I believe.
I was gonna say, so it'll be past by the time we.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, maybe we should acknowledge it now. We're gonna talk about it next week too. So
that's right. Pretty much, we made it to 2 years.
2-year
Come
anniversary.
On. Yeah.
With 94 podcasts.
Yeah.
It's quite a feat.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've been at it. So
hey, and gonna keep at it.
Right.
Lord willing. Lord willing, we're gonna keep at it. Yeah. So yeah, like absolutely. Love what we do. Grateful to be able to do it with you, brother.
Now what you're not gonna do is start the podcast off with eyeball sweat. That's what you're not gonna do. I got choked up for a second just now. I was like, oh
gosh.
No, but for real, it has been a blessing to do this with you. Like I remember when we were sitting in Dunkin' Donuts on South Cobb Drive.
Yep.
And I first put out the idea of like maybe we should do a podcast to promote this project. And you were like, huh?
Me? Not. And that was just our voices at the time, not even our faces. And I was like, no.
You know what though, and it's funny too, because as against it as you were that day,
yeah.
Whatever happened, and I'm gonna say it had to be the Holy Spirit.
For sure.
Whatever happened a week later, when we talked about it, you was on board, and I was
all
like,
in,
yes,
all in. Let's go. Yeah.
So sitting here,
I had to go
later,
have a conversation with God about that.
Yeah.
Like, me to listen. Yeah.
A whole 2 years later, we still at it.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
Thank you,
for
Jesus.
It.
Yes.
I'm glad that we were able to, do it and sustain it for, this amount of time.
With the move and everything.
Right.
Like the distance, it doesn't, keep
all types of stuff happened in this 2 years with us doing this podcast. And some of those things probably could have derailed us from doing it, but we've been able to stick at it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I love you, Big Sis.
Me too. I love you too.
All right, let's jump into this Who's Really Right.
Yeah.
And let me pull up all of the games because I can tell right now that with this Who's Really Right, it might be a couple that we agree on, but for the most part, there is an agreement.
I think it's half and half, probably.
You think so?
I think it's half and half.
Okay, let's see.
It's 6 games. It's 6 games.
It's 6 games.
I think we agree about 3 of them.
I think we agree on 4. That might be the Who's Really Right. I mean, no, I think we agree on 2. I think 4 of them we're gonna disagree.
Oh, okay. Well, we didn't talk about 1. So if you say what I don't think you're gonna say, I think we got 3. But you go ahead. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Look, bet on said you say 2, I say 3. Let's see.
All right, let's start with the did I say the Who's Really Right? So for those of you who are listening, I'm tripping. I know. For those of you who are listening, this week is the beginning of the NFL playoffs with the wild card round. And so there will be 12 teams playing because there were 14 teams in the playoff. So 12 teams will be playing. 2 teams, 1 from each conference, got a bye week. And that was the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So rest of the teams, they playing.
Yep.
So let's start off with this first game.
Okay.
So who's really right? Who's going to win these playoff games?
Yeah. So y'all have several chances to say whether we're right or not.
Exactly.
Basically. Yes.
All right. The first one, which is the Saturday night game at 8:15.
That's not the first game.
Well, I mean, that's not the first game that'll be played, but
that's the one that means something to you. That's how you just skipped over everything else. I'm like, it's two more games before that. Like, really? But okay, we can go to that one.
No, the only the way that is on the CBS app.
Oh,
it has it in order, and that's just the first one that pops up. But I'll go by date and time. So the playoffs start Saturday, January 9th.
Yes.
The 1:00 game is Indiana versus Buffalo.
Yeah. Who
you got in this one?
This is a no-brainer for me, and I'm gonna say this because I hate that I make this pick because I am so impressed with Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
I thought he would fall on his face leaving the Chargers. I did.
Yeah.
I did. I thought he'd fall on his face. So for him to have gotten them this far, I'm impressed. However, Mr. Rivers is gonna have to run into them Bills.
Yeah.
And they're the hottest team in the NFL right now.
They are.
Hands down. Period. We talked about this. Like I see them, they're that Cinderella team that might sneak up and take it all. Because they hot right now.
They one of my sleepers.
Listen, they hot right now.
They are.
And Josh Allen, The
connection that Josh Allen has had with
Stephon Diggs,
all season has just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it lets me see that trade that the Bills made to acquire him was a good move on their behalf.
Right. Absolutely.
So I'm going to agree with you on this one.
Okay.
Buffalo
taking it.
I'm saying.
Yeah, Buffalo taking this for sure.
All right, the 4:40 game. Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Rams. Now, we talked about this during our production meeting, which just occurred maybe 30 minutes ago. When we talked about this, we actually had a different pick.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't aware of the news.
Yeah. So it's looking like, and let me fact check right quick, but it's looking like Jared Goff, who is the starting quarterback for the Rams, is going to be out with a hand injury.
Okay.
But let me verify, because sometimes these guys, get pumped up with stuff.
Magically, they can play, right?
Yeah.
So they sew your thumb back on, and you just get back out there and do it anyway. Yeah.
They shoot you up with a little dope, and so they have him listed, and I guess this was actually an upgrade. They have him listed as questionable.
Okay.
So questionable, I believe, ranks on that end where there's a
chance,
outside chance,
slight chance. Yes,
it's a slight chance. So
right, because it's probable and questionable, right?
Yeah,
probable
then questionable.
Yeah,
there was another one in there somewhere, but I can't remember.
Yeah, but either way, it looks very highly unlikely that he will play.
Yeah. And so it's a thumb.
Okay.
So
even if he plays, like I didn't know he had injured his thumb, so like I was gonna get him a shot if he was healthy. You know what I'm saying? That would have been my shot. It would have been my shot if he was healthy, because they got drugged by the Seahawks the last time they played them, and so I just didn't feel like they were gonna let that happen again. You know what I mean? So I was giving them a shot, but with him being hurt, your team, my boy, because I love myself. Well, several boys. I love myself some Russell, and the Cyborg is always fun to watch. So I'm talking about DK Metcalf, y'all. So yeah, I'm giving it to the Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks too. This is my second team.
That's your second team. Yes.
So I gotta go with the Hawks. And I feel like this is the time of year where they kind of get hot. And they
when are they? Russell, it's hard to say hot because Russell Wilson is always on 110. So
yeah.
it's hard. When is hot? What does hot mean?
What does
Who's
hot really
hot?
mean?
Because he's
That's true.
he always playing like he in the playoffs to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what hot means.
I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I was
now you can get to what you were trying to get to. Yes.
So the late game on Saturday, January 9th, goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as they're affectionately called, and the football team in Washington. We don't even have a team name. But
I'm gonna say it again.
What we do have is a stout defensive line. And we know that Tom Brady doesn't do well with pressure.
He does not.
So I really want to see the D line of the Washington football team lay the smackdown on on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay. That's my choice.
Okay. So where do you rank the Packers defense?
The Packers defense? They're like probably.
Are they middle of the pack?
Nah, they're probably
bottom half.
Bottom half.
Bottom half?
Yeah. Bottom third.
Okay. So they won on offense. Pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Now who you
that
got?
Was a checker move right there, because either way, I was gonna get you with this one, right? Because if you said, "Oh, they're good," and I'd be like, "Okay, so we know what Tom did to them, right?" But you said they're in the bottom half.
Yeah.
Okay, but then that means what? Okay, Packers still did what to them?
Did what to who?
I mean, the Bucks still did what to them?
Well, and that's because
they drug them, right?
They couldn't get to the quarterback. Yeah, they did drag him.
Okay.
Now, I'm betting. I'm going with this one with my heart. This pick is definitely with my heart.
I got you.
But I see a scenario.
I get it.
I see a scenario where this game is not even remotely close.
Yeah, I don't. I think the chemistry is finally kind of coming together for that Bucks offense.
Yeah.
They've gotten a better feel for the person, the passion, they are now playing with Tom Brady-esque-ness. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's apparent. And then you got the weapons. Chase Young is one person. Sweat is one person. I'm just saying.
Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kerrigan. Like this is a legit defensive line.
Okay.
And because
but what are they gonna do is this your DBs too? Or just your line?
So, and this is an important thing to our listeners. And I'm gonna do this quickly because I don't want to take too much of our time. But in constructing a football team, right? And let me put on my GM hat.
Football genius hat.
Mm-hmm. In constructing the football, the game starts at the line of scrimmage.
That's right. It does.
And you're only as good as your offensive and defensive lines are. Now, if I'm building or constructing the team, I could have Trent Dilfer if I have a really good offensive line and a really good defensive line. So I don't necessarily need Tom Brady. Oh, now I won't even use Tom Brady because Tom Brady has famously taken pay cuts and he hasn't been like the highest paid quarterback. But what do we see when quarterbacks get a whole bunch of money? The team starts to decline, right?
Yeah, they fall off. Yes.
Right. So I believe if you invest more of that money into the offensive and defensive lines, you don't have to have the premier quarterback of the NFL. Think about all of, and this is why those NFL contracts are so inflated, right? Because after one person gets paid, then the next person gets paid.
Right. And they just keep going up. Right.
Right. But what you start to do is you start to devalue the other positions. Now, if you put the value in your offensive and defensive lines, you don't necessarily have to have a high-priced quarterback.
But you got a Tom Brady.
Well, Tom Brady on his way out of here.
Yeah. I mean, either way, he playing lights out right now. Okay.
Maybe not lights out.
I mean, he's not in the running. It's Aaron and Patrick. We know that. Yeah. But I'm just.
But even still, there's some other quarterbacks I would slide him down and like.
Okay.
You know who I'm putting ahead of him right now?
Of course, Russell.
Oh yeah, no, of course Russell, but
Matt Ryan would go above him to me, but that's not happening. We ain't got to have that conversation. It's okay.
You're gonna beat up on me when I say what I say about Matt Ryan.
Just don't even worry about it. Yeah, but either way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this one we'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
I know. I got deep in the weeds there with you guys. I apologize.
No. This is good. You helping inform people. That's what we do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So we're gonna see if it's a defensive line versus a offensive juggernaut. We're gonna see. Okay.
We're gonna see if defense really wins.
We're gonna see. That's right. That's it.
All right. So Sunday, January 10th, the very first game is the Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans. Who you got?
The Ravens.
Now, wait? I don't know if you guys saw Steph's face right there.
The Ravens. Like, what's the conversation about? Like, what?
Now, would you have made the same pick a year ago?
You would have. I mean, I know how it turned out, but I would have made this exact same pick a year ago. Here's what I know. If it's at all in his power, Lamar Jackson is not going to let what happened to him last year happen again. If it's at all in his power.
I don't think it will be in his power. And I think that this is going to be one of those things where you're really left scratching your head. And it's like, again, the Titans beat the Ravens. And it's because I believe they have the blueprint to winning in the playoffs. They do. And it's run the ball and play good defense. Control the clock.
Definitely running the ball because the other cyborg is going to make sure the ball gets run. I mean, he's abusing people. It's really embarrassing.
And I don't know if Baltimore's run defense is going to be able to get them off the field.
That's the thing. Like, that is the one thing that I feel like the Titans have is like their ace in the hole, so to speak. Because I don't care what run defense looks like. It's Derrick Henry. He is. First of all, nobody else as a running back looks like this.
No.
So
he and Chase Young are the same size.
He's bigger than the defense. I was just about to say he's bigger than the defensive line. So come on.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's no way. So that's not even it's gonna be other things that are going to have to be factors in this.
Yeah.
I anticipate that Derrick Henry will have a terrific game, which he always does. So that's not a change. It is just literally about whether Lamar can motivate his team enough to get behind him, kind of the way when he came out from having to go to the bathroom, he did in that game. It's gonna have to be that type of energy from him.
Yeah,
this is like we got to fight, like, because I feel like they laid down last year.
They did. And that game was
laid down.
That game was in Baltimore.
They laid down.
It is this year.
So I know.
It's in Tennessee.
I know.
If you guys haven't guessed it, I'm going with Tennessee. Tennessee.
Because he got a bromance with doggone Ryan Tannehill, y'all.
Well, you already know how I feel about Tannehill. And that's who I was talking about as far as I'm sliding him in front of Brady this year. This year. If you look at his impact this year, see, it sounds blasphemous because everybody say that Tom Brady the GOAT. But as far as the way that they played this year, I got to go with Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, okay.
Was that blasphemous?
Oh, my Lord. You got that. All right.
All right. So the 4:00 game.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago Bears versus New Orleans Saints.
Do we have to have a conversation about this?
Mm-hmm.
We do? Really?
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't want to say it, I'm just going to have to go with the Aints.
That took a lot for you.
You just don't know. You are darn right it did.
Now, well, I won't say everybody know, but you guys know my bro Dirk is a Saints fan. And if he hears me say this out loud, he's probably going to want to scrap.
Well, get ready.
I have to go with the Chicago Bears.
Huh?
The Saints are cursed. I don't know what they did in the previous life.
No, the Falcons are cursed. The Saints just that is catching up with them.
No, the Saints are cursed. For the last few years, they have been the best team in every game they've gone to.
Until they get to the playoffs. And
then they end up losing for some mysterious reason.
Yeah.
Now, I'm picking this purely off of I got to go with what they've shown over the last few years. I got to.
So you're doing it historically.
Yeah.
This is a historical.
It's a historic pick.
Because I'm thinking Mitchell Trubisky, like you really gonna put your okay.
So okay, I'm gonna tell you the last time I felt like this too. The last time I felt like this was the 2011 playoffs, where the Steelers were playing the Denver Broncos. And people were like, there is no way that Tim Tebow is going to go into Pittsburgh and win a playoff game. And you know what Tim Tebow did?
He went in and won a playoff.
Went into Pittsburgh and won a playoff game.
Okay, can I say something about that though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tim Tebow probably had a real good conversation with God before he went on the field.
Trubisky.
Just saying.
Trubisky, yeah. What you been doing these last few weeks, Trubisky?
Right. You fasting and praying, sir.
You better start.
Oh, that's funny.
So you going with the Saints? I'm going with the Bears.
You're right. Then we only had two because I just assumed nobody's picking the. Okay.
I honestly would hope to be wrong for this one because I really want to see the Saints. Like they've just gotten the short end of the stick for the last few years, and it's just not fair.
I have no dog in that fight. Like whatever.
No, you got a dog in the fight because the Falcons and the Saints are bitter rivalry. Bitter rivalry.
But I'm picking the Saints.
I know, yeah.
If they lose, I won't be sad.
I know you won't. You might be secretly hoping for it.
No. Yeah.
All right. So the 8:00 game was 8:15, excuse me, on Sunday. Mm-hmm. The Cleveland Browns traveled to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steph, I ain't even got to ask who you have. Because just like my Washington
this is just like your Washington pick. This is from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been on a downward slide, my babies. But Lord have mercy, Jesus, I'm just pull it out. Get back on the good foot right here. It's a good chance you can beat. This is a great chance if you all can get things back on, track. Mm-hmm. I know they've had a lot of injuries on defense, so I know that's decimated them from a lot of, but if they could just figure out how because it's the Browns.
Right.
It's you're lucky you're playing the Browns. So if you can just squeeze that, even because the wins they've had have been minuscule point differential. If
Right.
you can beat them by a point, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So yes, I'm picking the Steelers.
I'm going with Baker. So the Steelers started the season 11-0, and people were making jokes about them being the worst 11-0 team in the history of 11-0 teams. Then they ended up, out of their next 5 games, losing 4 of them. So they finished the season 12-4. And they fell from being the number 1 seed to now being the number 3 seed.
Yeah.
I think that's a horrible way to go into the playoffs, even after winning that game before. Like, that's why I'm not a fan of rest your players going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand you don't want to get anybody hurt, but I also think that if, like, this is a momentum thing. If you are just barely squeaking into
hanging
the playoffs,
on,
like, we need to get some consistency and some continuity going.
Yeah.
And resting your players doesn't do that. So I think that because the Cleveland Browns played the Steelers last week and they beat them, even though they didn't have their players, like, Cleveland is still
momentum
in
their mind.
Yeah.
So no, I get it.
Yeah,
they still got to see big men. So
they do.
We'll see.
They do.
Yeah, I'm always be on his side. Sorry.
Nah, but y'all let us know who's really right.
Yeah.
You heard Steps picks.
Yeah.
You heard mine.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know who's really right.
Yes, please.
And tell us who you guys have.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Let us know who you got.
Yeah.
Maybe we set it up like a poll question.
Yes.
Instead of like a poll, we do just like a question.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you might have to do for each team, just do one and just do
and then
like
you can just press it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.